Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Bloodborne no healing walkthrough. We are moving into Bygernwerth and Rom the Vacuous spider. So this creature here has a guaranteed parry against it, which I'm going to showcase coming up later on. And it has a 99% chance of working. There is always that one modifier that fucks you, but for the most, this is a guaranteed maneuver.
Bygernwerth is an old place of learning. And the tomb of the gods, carved out below Yharnam, should be familiar to every hunter. Once, a group of young Bygernwerth scholars discovered a holy medium deep within the tomb. This led to the founding of the Healing Church and the establishment of blood healing. Everything sacred in Yharnam can be traced back to Bygernwerth.
But light the lantern and then push forward. This is going to be a particularly small area, and I'm going to warp out of it to get my heal because the shadows wrecked me a little bit, and then I'm going to be pushing forward and clearing out this short but challenging zone. And it's challenging because there's an NPC that can fuck you up pretty good. Watch this. Jump, 1R1, immediately shoot. Guaranteed parry. That's all you do. Dodge the jump, press R1, mash the gun, and you will 99% do that to that enemy. If it misses, don't blame me. It's like 1% that fucked you. So watch, slash and parry, guaranteed. I have an entire orchestra of guaranteed parries on enemies, and I was going to make a video showcasing them, and it was going to hopefully be in this walkthrough, but then I realised I didn't fight a lot of the enemies because I was just kind of going through efficiently, and I didn't have chance to do that. But it's always something that I could make for people who demand it, and Bloodborne usually does really well on my channel. I love making content for it. Admittedly, I've been a little distracted on getting this walkthrough out, so I do apologise, folks. The kin here, you want to use electricity and thrust attacks. If you have either of those two, you will do massive damage to her and you will never be at risk. If she grabs you, do a safe reset, just quit. Quit the game quickly, reload, and it'll leave you from the grab. If you let her grab you, you can mash R1 and L1 to get out of it a little quicker, but with my HP, she'll probably kill me. Additionally, she will steal insight, and insight's not something that's important to me in this particular run, but it can be if you're using a certain build that depends on it, for instance a beast mode build. But I can't really imagine a situation where you would want max insight outside of, you know, your build that you play the most or you do chalices on, unless you're farming to spend it in the shop, because now we understand what insight does, we realise what a massive bullshit artist red herring mechanic it is, because it barely does anything. And there is still a large vocal majority of people who are misinformed who think it makes the game more difficult when it doesn't. It modifies 2 or 3 very simple things that really don't make much of a difference at all. The only true difficulty that it changes is one boss, and even then, it's not too bad. That was a big hit too. This creature here used to be a real bad one for me because I didn't like how it looked and it made my skin crawl, but I've got good at not getting that response, so I can kill it quite comfortable now, but I took a big hit which I shouldn't have taken. And the trick there is to control his face. Always hug, essentially behind his left ear, even though he doesn't have ears, but always want to be behind his left shoulder and out of the way of his mandible things. And if you can do that, he should never touch you, but I got sloppy, and of course he did big damage on me. But this is going to open up the shortcut, and then once you walk inside here, this is going to lead to this NPC, and this NPC is a douche. Not only does it have the ability to spray you down with, I think it's a Rosmarinus, but it also has a whip, and it has the ability to do the, what's it called, a Call from Beyond, which is one of the most dangerous spells in the game, because it just has bullshit hit detection. Like, there are times when you don't even try and dodge it, and you dodge it. There are times where you try your hardest to dodge it, and you fucking get hit. Like, really strange, but I'm going to try and make short work of this particular individual, and as you can see, insane levels of HP on the NPCs in this game, which make it very difficult. But if you're aggressive, you can interrupt the cast, and you want to do that, because if you don't interrupt it, it can also almost always be a guaranteed one-shot. That is an NPC that will run a that will ruin a no-death run, just because if she hits you with that, there's nothing you can do sometimes. And don't get me wrong, there's probably somebody out there who's dodged it every single time they've ever tried, and it's a piece of piss to them, but then again, this is the internet, and it's full of badasses, so I don't really pay too much heed to that kind of stuff. Be careful when you move up here, there's going to be one of the fly creatures waiting for you when you push the lever. And if anybody played that Turtles game on the SNES, this guy reminds me of the fly boss from that particular brawler. I don't know why, he just really does, these particular enemies. I think it's because it's just a massive, you know, anthropomorphized fly, which I don't really understand the transformations from the eyes and from the, you know, the crazy phantasms and what have you, and all the scourge and the parasites in the blood, and because there's so many different ones, you know. You've got is it Willem, the guy who sits outside in the wheelchair, who's essentially turned into a satellite dish and nothing else really. He's managed to, you know, not become crazy and all a giant pocket of boiled assholes like Ludwig did. So it's kind of up and down, isn't it? Some people turn into certain things, some people turn into kinship, some people turn into all kinds of weird stuff. Some people just turn into beast men. Like, however, if you kill this guy, he will give you the best eye rune in the game, which will increase your item find. However, a lot of the things you're going to be farming do not require that, which is hilarious, I think. But there was a little phase there as I went back to get HP, and I didn't want to keep in the run back, because all it is, you know, using one of those hunter marks and then a load screen. And I've done this so that I've got full life for the boss. Additionally, the boss probably killed me because I was trying to get a one cycle on ROM, and I can't do it, guys. I've seen people do it. I can't do it. I've repeated strategies that speedrunners have done, and it just doesn't seem to work. And I even messaged one of them, and he mentioned to me that you need to have done the... is it the AI bug? So I think the trick to it is playing on a console that doesn't have the patches, leaving it on for a set period of time, and then it enables a guaranteed one cycle on ROM. And if you're wondering what I mean and you've not seen the video, all you have to do is like search one cycle ROM or speedrun, you know, Bloodborne. And what they do is he comes into this room like I'm doing now, he kills all of the spiders around ROM, and then he proceeds to do a very specific hit sequence on the boss. He buffs his weapon, and he does like 3 attacks, waits, attack, transformation attack, another attack, and then he charges his weapon, and the charge interrupts the spin, and then he can continue doing some attacks, and then the boss never moves, and he keeps it in this indefinite area instead of it warping away and summoning more people. And I copied it verbatim several times, and I just couldn't get it to work. And as I mentioned, I emailed the guy, and he told me AI bug, and I was like, oh, bollocks. So I couldn't get a super great strategy here, other than the one I've kind of always used, which is to be very quick and attack him as fast as you can, because it's a shit fest, and I hate this fight. It's my least favourite fight in the game. But I'm almost certain speedrunners will have a new strategy here, so hopefully I can check that out and see what they do to see if there is a better way of doing it, or a guaranteed one cycle, because I've never been a fan of doing the flamethrower technique that you see people do. It just kind of bores me, and I would just love a loop, a guaranteed loop that was easy to do, because this is a shit boss, and shit bosses deserve everything they get, so fuck that boss. Fuck this entire sequence, fuck the people who thought they should have put this in the game, and yeah, terrible, absolutely terrible. But there you go, folks. All you need to do now is go towards the bride, and that will end one of the more challenging areas of this game, and we're going to be moving into the nightmares now, and the game's going to be picking up speed as we go barreling towards the end of this walkthrough. Thank you very much for watching, and you take care now.